You love what you do and you're good at it. You meet the needs of your clients, you show up and serve, and they have transformation. But you are starting to think that this grind, this hustle, this necessity for 25, 30, or more sessions a week is not sustainable for you wherever you are in your life. You want to continue to help and serve, but you just want to do it in a different way. You're a therapist who might be ready to take on the world of consulting. Now, I have worked in the consulting space for almost 10 years now, and I thoroughly enjoy what I do. I absolutely love being the solution to expensive problems. I love coming into a space, getting to be a fly on the wall, getting to see things from a different perspective, and I most importantly love seeing my clients get results. So if any of that sounds like you might be in the right space. I like to think of therapists who are choosing consulting as either a transition from the counseling room or even maybe just in addition to that. These are people who want to have more impact and income, and they just want to do it in a different way. So come on in and let's talk a little bit about how this can be a shift you can make. So one of the most common things that people ask me is, what is consulting? And it is like the simplest definition I'll give you is when someone from the outside comes into an organization and provides specific strategic support that could include training, specific coaching, outlining curriculums. It could include assessment. It could be any number of things, but it's basically somebody from the outside coming into an organization on a contract basis and providing some sort of support. Now, I offer a variety of service offerings to the clients that I work with. You do not have to start off offering thousands and thousands of things. You can really start off super, super simple. If this is something you know you want to do, I want you to take these 3 steps as quickly as possible. So step 1 is to decide who you're going to work with. You've got to identify a target market. Now, pretty much every corporation and most nonprofits have some type of consultant that they're working with on a regular basis. That doesn't mean that that should be you. So you want to choose a specific industry that you want to start to build a reputation in. So choose your target market. Now, when I got into the mental health coaching space, I came by way of home-based therapy, and originally I was a school counselor. So I had a lot of space where I, worked with people who had experienced trauma. I understood the logistics of working in a school setting. I understood, special education, all these different things. So it made perfect sense for my first area that I worked with to be schools and educational, communities. Now, I also years ago was in healthcare, so I pivoted into that space as well. But you can choose one that you really want to work with, and that's perfectly fine. You can have a great career and lots of additional income by just serving one particular target market. So don't feel like you have to try to be everything to everyone. Now, the next thing you want to do is choose your signature solution. So this is the problem that you solve with your services. Now, at this stage of the game, in some instances, our organization is coming in and providing therapy. So we have, kind of embedded ourselves as an internal EAP, but that may not be what you're specifically offering. So think about what problem that you want to solve. Focus in on that. Now, I want you to choose a problem that you understand, but also that you enjoy solving. Don't turn consulting into a job that you barely even want to do. Choose something that you're actually passionate about or excited about or enjoy or love researching, something that you can do on a regular basis and on a consistent basis, right? So choose what that is, the problem that you're going to consistently solve. And then start to think about, what would it actually take for you to solve that, right? What topics, what offering or what kind of packages would you want to create in order to be able to solve that? So for example, one of the things that I really love to do with my consulting is build out a retainer model. So where they can pay me a certain amount per month for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months or more. That gives you a lot of income consistency. So don't just think about that one-time offering, but think about, what is this problem and what would it really take to solve it? Now, in 2025, people are less interested in the touchy-feely topics, and they're much more interested in those things that they can actually see a verifiable return on investment for. So when you're thinking about, hey, I want to come in and offer burnout recovery solutions, what you're really saying is, I want to help you manage your retention. I want to make sure you understand how to navigate your employees' potential stressors so that they give you the most productivity possible. People are looking for data-driven decisions. So you want to make sure that whatever solution you're offering, that you can show how valuable that is. Yes, people may feel better, but you've got to have a way that you can actually show that. So when you're choosing the problem that you solve, make sure that you are clear how you're going to show that it was solved. Last but certainly not least, now that you have chosen a market you want to work with and you've got at least one problem that you know you can solve, it's time for you to start pitching yourself. And this is the one that people really struggle with, because as a counselor or therapist, you were not trained to go out there and basically take a bullhorn and tell people how awesome you are. You were actually trained to sit back and wait for people to come to you. And while on occasion that can happen if you kind of set yourself up to be an organization that provides training, workshops, what have you, for the most part, you're going to have to go out and make sure that people know you're available to solve their problems. So you've got to get comfortable with pitching yourself or letting people know what you have to offer. Now, some of the ways I pitch myself is by showing up on social media, by offering lunch and learn workshops that are free or low cost to kind of get people a sampling of what I have to offer. But you absolutely can do cold calls, cold emails, and cold DMs. You want to choose the method that works best for you, that feels best for you. But you don't want to allow yourself to have all this great content, all this great information, and have it hidden from the people who need you the most. My tip for this is start small. Don't overthink it. Don't give yourself 6 months of runway. Give yourself 2 to 3 weeks to outline kind of a sketch of what you want to provide and start promoting what you're getting ready to offer. I don't care if nobody shows up to the first one or if you only have a handful of people. The key is, I want you to decide that you're a consultant, to call yourself a consultant, and to start walking that out. People will never buy from you until you're comfortable standing up and saying, this is who I am and this is what I have to offer. Now, that sounded easy, didn't it? It wasn't nearly as bad as you probably thought it was. For most people, there's a lot of, anticipation or even anxiety about what this could look like. But I promise you, you've already got the skills. You're just using them in a different way. And if this sounds like something that, hey, you really think you probably could do, I would love to be a part of this for you. Every month, I open up a handful of consultation slots. They're free slots where we can sit down, have a cup of coffee, and chit chat about your answers to these questions and how this could look for you adding consulting to your practice. Sometimes during that conversation, we find that there's some ways that I can support you, and other times you just walk away with a really great plan for how you can take this and DIY it yourself. But either way, you'll walk away with some strategies that will support the work that you do, because it is so, so important. So click the link around this video and sign up for your free consultation, and I will see you in the next video.